Hey everybody, I'm going to teach you how to make an authentic tasting arroz con pollo, aka chicken and rice with an Instapot and a rotisserie chicken or two. So here we go. So let's start off by prepping all our vegetables. I took the carrots out of peas and carrots and I'm putting those aside with some onions I had in the fridge. Half an onion that I cut up, one half of it for the broth, the other half diced up for the actual rice. I've also chopped up some celery and some carrots and some cucumbers I had in the fridge. You can substitute that with whatever you've got. I even had a little piece of Tumeric I threw in there. I figured it'd be some extra color. Here's where we break down the chicken, removing the wings, the skin, any pieces that aren't dark or light meat, like this rib section. We're going to take that out, bones. Here you can see I'm removing the breasts and doing that in solid pieces, but you can be a little bit messier with this if you like. We're going to chop it all up anyways. Here you can see most of the carcass just goes in there. I'm not trying to save too much. We have plenty. So I'm chopping up the dark meat a little bit, putting it aside in its own container. Now the white meat's being chopped up as well. That's going to go in its own container because we don't add that till the very end. I'm also throwing some capers in with the peas, also a bunch of regular green olives with pimentos, chopping that up, and that's going to also go in with the capers and peas. We're going to put this on saute. It said 5 minutes by default. I do more like 15. Throw in this annato seed, probably about 1/3 to 1/2 of a bag to a couple tablespoons of oil. You can see the color really start to come out. And here I've put that other half an onion for the broth in there to also saute, along with all the vegetables that we just chopped up. Again, you don't have to have the same vegetables as me or any. We're just creating a broth. Throwing in some peppercorns here, as well as some bay leaves, 2 to 3. Some oregano, more oregano. And here goes all our chicken drippings and everything. I added some water to this and pushed it down. And now we're going to put it on high pressure for anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and 25 minutes. You can see it looks kind of gross when you finish, but we're just going to pull out all the solids. That's all going to go in the trash. We strained out all the rest of the solids, and we actually have that reducing on the other side. Now we've got some oil that we're sauteing some onions in, and we're adding the sofrito and the recaito. That can be substituted with some things I have in the description, as well as adding some ground black pepper. We're just gonna fry this up. Also, I've added about half, if not most, of all the cut up red bell pepper, and now we're adding the rinsed rice. I did this in a colander, but you can rinse it 3 times in a bowl. And now we're gonna fry it. It's kind of sticking to the bottom, so you're gonna want to really scrape it, make sure there's none on the sides. I spent a good time frying this. At this time, we're also adding in the dark chicken meat. I would also recommend adding in the peas, the capers, and the olives at this time. I forgot to do it. I really don't like to mix up the rice once I've added the water, which now I'm adding, the broth that is what we made in step 1. Equal amount broth to rice. Again, I would have already added the capers and the peas so that I wouldn't have to stir this up too much and get those starches going. But in this case, it came out just fine, and I forgot that step until after. So once we've added that broth, now I'm going to add the peas, the capers, the olives, and just lightly mix it and pat it down. And now we're going to put on the top and cancel the saute setting and now put it on the rice setting. And I'm going to let it fully depressurize on its own. And here we are with a beautiful arroz con pollo where you just have to add in the white meat, mix it all in, and it will be a showstopper.